This is a wake up call. Hello, it's been a short minute, and you're welcome to the wake up call. So today I have a tip for the worker bees, right? Employees, that's what we usually do on days like this, where we just talk and just share a bit of what could be useful for you when it comes to your work, working with people, working for people. And today I wanted to just shed a bit of light on requesting for time off. So perhaps you need time to step out of the office for some leave, maternity leave, something out of scope of what you usually need. Perhaps you want to take a professional exam, you want to indulge in some trainings not provided by your company. There are times that you just need to step out of the office for a little bit and you need to request for time off. You don't just go off the rails and then leave the office without making proper requests to take time off from your duties and your work. And then you need to send an email, you need to write a letter if your company is one that has not fully come into the electronic age yet. um, so these tips that I'm going to share is just supposed to help you to know exactly what it is that you should include, that has to be included in your communication with your line manager, your HR, which is usually supposed to be your HR, or your CEO in case your organization doesn't have that. So what do you do when it comes to time off? What are the things that you must not miss out on? That you must say. First thing is to properly title that letter, properly title that email. Say what you need to say right off the bat. Let it be obvious. Request for time off. Requesting for time off. Just let it be in the subject of your email, in the subject of your document. Also, you want to go straight to the point, once you begin your letter. So you're saying that um, their, HR name, this and that. I would like to request time off to do certain things and for this certain period. So you're saying that you want to take time off, say, for uh, professional exam. Say the duration that you're also going for. Let that be in the first paragraph of your email or your letter, right? The next thing you want to do is then to make sure that all bases are covered. So, for example, look at your uh, your tasks, your co-workers, the people you answer to, people who are going to feel the brunt of your work when you leave, your customers. Talk about, oh, I have handed so and so portfolio to so and so people who have agreed to help me during this period of time to ensure that work doesn't slack. I'm also open to communication or having a discussion regarding what is best for my work. Just make sure, you just want to make sure that all bases are covered and nobody suffers or nobody is stressed when you leave your duties. Of course, it may be uncomfortable for your coworkers for the couple of days that you'll be gone for, but especially in the digital age that we are in now, you can just mention to say you're going to be available for calls and attending to emails throughout the time of this time off, especially if it's not within your appropriate leave time. If it's within your appropriate leave time, then you can say you would not be available or that you would not be able to take phone calls or attend to emails at this time. But as soon as you're back, you will do so. But if you're going to be available, I mean, if it's beyond your leave time, it's just reasonable that you make provision for everything to be covered, every base covered. So I'm just going to go through this sample I found on the internet, which is really cool, and it's from the British Council. And I think it has to do with just communicating properly, effectively with the English language. Basically, it really does feel like I'm preparing somebody for exams on the good books, right? But this person was requesting for time off. I'm writing to request some time off between Monday 18th February and Friday 8th of March in order to work on my MBA dissertation, professional exam, ICANN, ACCA, all of those professional bodies, which is due for submission on 30 March. So if you're writing for an example, for example, you're going to say that, for an example, it is going to take place on so date in so region or in so city of yours. Then the next paragraph, I understand that the 3 weeks I am requesting for exceeds my remaining annual leave by 4 days, which is another thing that I say you should mention. If you have a usual limit for annual leave and you've used it up, or it's just beyond your annual leave, but you're asking this, with regards to a very important, of course, you're not going to take time off to go to the beach with some friends if it's not the holiday season, if it's not your leave time and things like that. You're asking for time off, you're requesting for time off when it has to do with outside of your leave time, or perhaps your leave time, but of course for critical work. um I'd like to ask if those 4 days will be taken in lieu of extra working hours I put in during the 2 weekends of the Chicago International Management Conference last November. So what this person did was to see that, can this cover the extra time that I had put in previously in a previous, setting in the office or for the office prior to now. I've spoken to ABC and DEF, who have both agreed to cover for me during my absence. I would also distribute a playbook for my team members so that everyone is clear on the tasks that they are in charge of and the deadlines they have to meet. So I presume that this person is in a managerial role, is a leader, is in charge of a team, and has to make sure that the team is on top of their game throughout the time that they'll be outside of the office. During my leave, I'll be fully reachable by phone, which is what I was mentioning, and email to answer any questions or provide any assistance needed. I would also be happy to discuss any further plans to ensure my workload is covered. And then they now further to tie in, which is optional, to tie in, what the purpose of the leave and what it will contribute to the company. So they were saying that the research they are doing and the resulting MBA will contribute greatly to their professional development, as well as improve their expertise and qualifications, as well as and their improved expertise and qualifications will in turn benefit the company. And then they sign out. Please let me know if you need any additional information. Thank you for your consideration of my request. Of course, best regards, their name and last name. So that's something you want to do. You want to make sure that you're cautious through it all. You're not expectant, because yes, it can get turned down. Yes, it could be saddening, to see that, oh, you've put in so much work and then this is something that you really need at this time and you would like a leave. It could be turned down. So it's best that you send this in good time. Let this go in as soon as possible, as soon as you find the need for it, such that the company can plan for your absence, especially if you're doing time sensitive jobs like data cleaning, data analysis, some of those things that come in on daily, role, things that come in steady, 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 and you want to make sure that they are able to cover, your absence, and see that you're also able to develop yourself outside of the office and contribute to your own growth and development. So I hope this video has been helpful to you. I hope that it just helps you, uh, color your words, color your just fine tune what it is you want to send out, when next you want to send out that request for a time off. Of course, if you have any questions, I'll be in the comments. I look forward to sharing with you, and I hope you have a fruitful journey in your employment. Have a great week. Toodles.